The U.S. Supreme Court agreed to take up a case against Mississippi's law that allows mail-in ballots to be counted even if they're received after Election Day. Now, Mississippi is one of 16 states, together with the District of Columbia, that accepts mail-in ballots that are received after Election Day as long as the ballots are postmarked on or before Election Day. But those who've been fighting against these type of laws argue that this type of setup is in direct conflict with federal law, and it certainly also undermines trust and confidence in our elections. So the question is whether or not the Supreme Court will agree with that. Well, joining me now to discuss this is Cleta Mitchell. She is the Senior Legal Fellow at CPI, the Conservative Partnership Institute, and also she is the founder of the Election Integrity Network. Cleta, welcome back to Washington Watch. It's always an honor to have you.
Always an honor for me to be asked to be with you, Jody. I appreciate it.
Well, thank you. All right, so I know all this mess started with COVID-19. In fact, I was there as a member of Congress in the Oversight Committee watching all of this unfold right before our very eyes. In fact, I've written about it in my book, Sacred Trust. But Cleta, if you would, go back and remind us what happened to election policies during that time of COVID.
Well, Jody, the Democrats and the left took to heart what Rahm Emanuel famously said, never let an emergency go to waste. And so they took the opportunity under COVID to completely upend America's election laws in state after state after state. Mark Elias and the constellation of left-wing anti-integrity voting groups sued state after state to get rid of all the safeguards that had been protecting our elections for a century, really. And so one of the ways that they did that was and they had been moving to get states to accept ballots after Election Day. It originally started, Jody, when they said military voters, overseas military voters. We need to accept ballots received after Election Day because of the delay in getting ballots from military voters. But that's not even, it's a pretext. And COVID was a pretext. They want to be able to get ballots. Some states, it's up to 14 days. And it's really, I will tell you that in the state where I live, North Carolina, they can accept ballots. It's supposed to be only from the military, but they stop categorizing whether it's military or non-military, and they just accept ballots. And in Pennsylvania, they have defended and started counting ballots with no postmark. So you don't know if it's postmarked before. You don't know if it was sent before or after the election. So these are really big problems. I'm so glad the Supreme Court hopefully will say that 2 United States Code Section 7, which says the election day shall be the first Tuesday after the first Monday in November, shall be it says that's the date of the federal election of even numbered years. So let's hope that the Supreme Court will just uphold that law.
Absolutely. So let me ask you this, is going now to the Supreme Court, as you've mentioned, could a final ruling from them come in time to have an effect on the 2026 midterm elections?
Absolutely, because the court will no doubt, they've accepted the certiorari for this term. Arguments will be sometime between now and, say, the end of April, and the decision would come no later than June 30th. So the decision will be made before the November 2026 election. And I just hope that they will uphold Election Day. Now, then the next thing we have to do is get states to stop having election season and start saying that if you're, some early voting, maybe 7 days, maybe 8 days, but having, like Virginia has 45 days of early voting. They started voting for the November election on September 19th. It's time to stop all that nonsense.
Wow. All right, Cleta, real quickly, while I have you here, one more thing I wanted to hit on. There's a provision in the funding bill that's being voted on right now to end this shutdown, allowing some Republican lawmakers who were targeted by Jack Smith's Arctic frost investigation to receive compensation if they take legal action against the government. We've only got about a minute or so, but what's your thoughts on that and this whole fallout from Arctic frost?
Oh, we've just got the tip of the iceberg, so to speak, with Arctic frost. It was a massive spying and investigative, tyrannical, authoritarian investigation of President Trump and everybody who was associated with him. It is typical, Jody, isn't it, that the United States Senate would take care of 9 U.S. senators when there literally are hundreds and hundreds of individuals, such as myself. I learned from the documents that they obtained my credit report from 3 different credit reporting agencies. You tell me why. I don't know. But there are hundreds of people, individuals. There are dozens of conservative groups and Republican Party groups and committees and all of the Trump campaign committees. So I just hope that they're going to provide for compensation and reimbursement, that they'll take steps to do that for everybody and not just the senators.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you so much, Cleta Mitchell, founder of Election Integrity Network, a great mover and shaker, and we're always thrilled to have you on Washington Watch. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks so much, Jody, for having me.